All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Game 1, Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics taking on the Heat. These two guys are no strangers to seeing each other in the Eastern Conference Finals. This should be a good series here. Right now, Celtics -8 at home in Game 1. Total sitting at 210.5. We're going to jump into each of those sides. We're going to look at the spread. I'm going to give you my lean. Then we're also going to look at the total. I'm going to give you my lean as well. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for my final plays or any changes, guys. That is where I keep you guys updated. Yesterday, we had Nuggets -6. The Nuggets win by 6. So no blood, guys. We end up pushing that one. I do like the Nuggets, the way that they looked yesterday in that series, the fact that they even played up tempo as well. We'll talk obviously more about those two teams in tomorrow's or the next video, but nonetheless, I do think that that is going to be a little bit more of an interesting series than I had thought. But let's get back to this one, guys. Actually, no, before we even get to this one, I do want to shout out the ride of the day here, coming in from Cruisin' Chris from last night. Jokic over 37.5 points and assists. Jokic damn near did it with points. Obviously had a bunch of assists as well, guys. So shout out to Cruisin' Chris here. If you guys do want to become the ride of the day, all you got to use is hashtag ride of the day in the comments. And I'm going through the comments and I'm going to jump on board with one person's play and ride with you guys, and then you guys get a shout out, win or loss, guys. So make sure to use that hashtag ride of the day in the comments and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well as we grind towards just continuing to grow this channel. You guys are absolutely amazing when it comes to supporting as of late. We're doing multiple sports a day. I wish we were even doing more like NHL. Obviously we don't have all the time in the world yet, but I will say I do truly appreciate the support that you guys have had and kind of the hand you've played in the growth of this channel. I can only do so much coming on here and talking like an idiot on a mic, right, and putting together the videos. You guys really take it from there, and I cannot thank you guys enough for how far you have taken it, but we're not stopping, guys. Let's get back to the video. I hate to be sappy this early in the morning, like I said yesterday's video when I was paying my flowers and whatnot, but nonetheless, guys, let's get to it. Celtics -8, total 210.5. This one's tough. You know I'm a Celtics fan, and if you don't, I'm a huge Celtics fan. I don't like this -8 number. I think it's a little bit too much for me there. This Heat team they've shown how big their balls are so far this postseason. The play-in to Milwaukee to New York, they are grinding these games out. Now, sure, you could say the injuries have played a part in some of these series. So they have also for the Heat, right? Tyler Hero goes down with a broken hand. Jimmy Butler hurts his ankle. Bam, Kyle Lowry. These guys are all bumped and bruised, and yet still they're persevering. It is kind of crazy to watch, and that's why I don't like this Boston -8. Now, as a Celtics fan, my bias kicks in, and I'm not going to be taking the Heat +8. You gotta understand, I'm being transparent with you guys. If I don't like the Celtics -8, it means I'm kind of leaning towards the Heat, but I can't make that a final play. I just can't do it. Roast me in the comments all you want, but that's where my bias will be. I'll talk about a game objectively, right, and talk about just like this. I think this is a Heat team that can keep it close with anybody, okay? But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go watch this game tonight with money on the Heat against my team that I've grown up loving. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys can understand that. But I don't think -8 is the move for the Celtics today. Can they do it? No kidding. They're one of, if not the best team in the league as of right now. And I do think that, they can go out there and beat any team by 20 points. But this Heat team is a damn hard team to try and beat by 20 points. Even in some of those games that New York ultimately was winning, this Heat team made it really hard at the end of the game. I think it was one of the latter games in that series, the Knicks actually ended up winning by like 9 points, right? But prior to that, when the Knicks had won, I think that was in game 2 or game 2, they were winning by a decent amount of points, and then all of a sudden, this Heat team just clawed back. So this Heat team can stick around with anyone. The play that I'm actually going to be looking at here, and it might go against what a lot of people are thinking, I'm actually going to take a peek at the over, 210.5. Now, I know Miami can keep games to and under, and we've seen Boston keep it to and under. We hit, the last 2 unders of that series in the Philly series with the Celtics too, right, for final plays. But what I don't like here in terms of unders, this Miami team is on the road. I don't like them for unders on the road, and Celtics are at home. They crushed these overs when at home this season. In terms of how many overs/unders they hit, they're 28-19-1 to the overline at home this season. They play better basketball at home in terms of more points and keeping the pace of play up. And I think that's because they feed off that crowd. Obviously, you're gonna have a big crowd in Boston tonight, and then you see Jason Tatum going for 51 last game. Hopefully, they carry that sort of scoring momentum because they did their part. They scored 112 points last game. They held Philly to 88, but I think Boston keeps that scoring sort of mindset and rolls it into this game. And 210.5 is crazy low for this. So I think that obviously later on in the series, just like the Sixers series, right, we we may start to see these two teams say, okay, we got to lock in defensively, but I think it's going to start kind of opposite how I predicted the Lakers and Nuggets would start yesterday, but they started off kind of like running, right? I think it's going to start the same way. As you feel out your opponent in this series, you're going to try and see how fast you can run, and you don't see how fast you can run by playing slow. Does that make sense? Like, you kind of push the limit and push the pace, which I expect in game one here. So I really do like that. That's most likely going to be the final play. Probably don't even need to check the pinned comment, but I did want to, explain that to you guys. So I think I rambled in this video. I'm talking about my Celtics, talking about how I don't like them to win by more than 8 points, which is tough for me to do, but I'm keeping it unbiased in the video. But in terms of the final play, I don't think I can roll with the Heat +8. Just can't do it to myself. Can't do it to myself. So we're going to lean towards the over here, over 210.5. Keep an eye on the line as well. I'm curious to see if this line moves or anything like that. This did open up at 210. It's now 210.5. It's barely moved. The spread hasn't moved a budge since opening, right? So it's a little bit interesting to see that total has moved up a little. I'm going to try and get it before it gets to 211 for sure, because obviously if we're taking the over, we want the lower number. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for you guys. Sorry if this was a scrambly, rambly video, but yeah. We're here, Eastern Conference Finals, game one. Let's head into it, guys. Basketball season, it's heating up. It's fun. You only got a few teams left. It is really cool to jump in and look at these games. The only hard part is predicting these games. And as you guys can see, with only a few teams, it's tough to do a video about two teams playing that you just talked about a couple days ago too. You know what I mean? So we're doing our best out here. If you guys do still find yourself being entertained and coming to watch the videos, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.